This podcast contains potentially adult language, adult themes, definitely drinking, and possibly sexual context. Listener discretion is advised. Woo! Okay. Drinking with Authors, Literary Briefs episode. I don't know why I get lost when I start this again. Okay, I'm your host, Erica Lance.
And I'm Vanessa Valiente.
And with us today is Gabi Justice. Woo! Now let's talk about what we're drinking. So I did a shot at the beginning of the last episode in our new drinking with authors shot glasses.
You're cut off.
I know. Oh, that was bad. It was the shot itself. I think if I put honey jack in there, it would have been okay. But I am still drinking my cucumber mint vodka with cranberry and soda water. I like that. I think it's cucumber and lime or cucumber and mint. It doesn't matter. It's fine. It's still good. I've only got a little bit left. I'm fine. I'm doing great. Woo! Vanessa, what are you drinking?
Still drinking my vodka and water. Very, very simple. Nothing, pretty straightforward. In my fancy cup. That's about it.
You're becoming an old woman with your vodka and water. I'm just saying.
I was drinking wine yesterday, and I'm trying to be better because I ate too many pizza rolls this past weekend. So I was like, if I'm gonna drink something, I'm gonna add some water, make it a little healthier. If you can call it healthier, but yeah.
I like that. I drink way too much wine, so I'm going to straight vodka and water. It's so much better.
Yes. That's what I'm telling myself.
I don't think that's a real thing. I think we're gonna have to relook at that pizza roll, girl. Okay, Gabi, what are you drinking?
I have made little wine cocktails with apple cider and like a sparkling white wine, and then I did a hot cider with Cabernet.
Ooh,
and spices. The hot one and the cold one.
When you showed the hot one, I was like, this reminds me of like a sangria almost with fruit floating in it.
Mm-hmm.
I love me some sangria. That would be way too fancy for me to make before these podcasts, but I do love me some sangria. Eventually I'll have to get a picture of it. Okay, we are doing rapid fire questions. Are you ready?
No, I'm not good.
Okay, good. So we're gonna start. What is your favorite book?
Oh, I just read The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. It's my new favorite.
Oh, okay. I have the book. I haven't read it yet, but I'm obsessed with V.E. Victoria Schwab.
Yes, me too.
What did you love about that book?
Well, it's got my new favorite villain, Luke. He's very romantic, swoon worthy. I kind of like that. I do like that. I'm like,
the devil?
Yeah. Well, I guess so. She never really says.
Yeah, because I follow Victoria, and basically it's like making a deal with the devil.
Yeah.
She can live forever, but people forget her. So she can never make a true connection with another person.
Okay, plot giveaway person. Okay.
On the blurb. I'm not giving anything away.
We got to talk about blurbs later. Remind me, gorgeous guy, about the blurbs. Anyway, okay. So what is your least favorite book of all time?
Well, it's not really my least favorite, but remember I was talking earlier how I don't like series that end and I don't like the ending. Mm-hmm. I didn't like the way the Divergent series ended. That last book. I can't remember the name of it. Alliance, I think?
Allegiant. It's Allegiant. Allegiant, yeah.
And then when I saw the movie, I was like, I don't remember that. Does that end the book?
I never watched, okay, so Divergent is a trilogy, and Allegiant was supposed to be made into 2 films, but I think the movies didn't do well, so they never did the part 2 of Allegiant. But if I remember correctly, the movies kind of strayed from the books. So
because I thought so.
Yeah, I don't know. I stopped watching after the second one. So
there's 2 books I loved, and then the last one I didn't like the way it ended. I didn't like that.
Oh my goodness. What about so you said you're a pantser. but you are writing a series. Do you keep any sort of world Bible, or are you just making it up as you go along?
I do keep a whole envelope full of information, but I became more of a plotter by the time I got to the third book, because I that's when I was like, that's when I made my poster board with all my worlds and where my characters were. And yeah, I had to put my aside and put on my plotter pants.
Your plotter pants, I like that, plotter pants. Do you think that that's partially because I think a lot of people don't realize when you write a book, at least I don't remember every single thing in the book.
No.
Like, so you have to go back and go, what did this sub character look like that wasn't important, but for some reason I need to bring them back now?
Yeah.
Do you reread your books at all when you go to write? When you went to write number 3, did you reread 1 and 2?
I did. And then I kept putting off writing book 3. So I kept rereading book 1 and book 2 like a million times. And I'm like, okay, finally I'm going to write book 3. But yeah, I definitely did.
What about reviews? Have you gotten a lot of reviews so far on your books?
Dog Girl, it needs more reviews, but it just came out like last week, so I'm not stressing too much. But I have a lot of people reading it, so I'm waiting for those reviews to roll in. Right now I have 6. But for my self-published Firstborn and First Awaken, Firstborn had a lot of reviews. I didn't realize at the time what an accomplishment that was. I'd have to look it up again, but I think I have like 36.
That's very good.
Yeah, I didn't realize, but I had, in most of them, we have a few bad ones, but most of them are all good. So
you read your reviews.
yeah, I'm so bad, especially, and then I'm so bad, I constantly look, and then that wastes time. Like, stop looking at Goodreads, stop looking at Amazon, just get to work on your next book. So.
Did you do you look for specific things, or is it, because some people take them way too seriously when they read the reviews? And who was it that said the other day, I thought it was actually really, was it Paul Cornell? I think he said reviews are actually for readers, not for writers. And that's who the reviews are meant for, is they're meant for readers.
I've heard that multiple times from other authors, that even the good ones, they don't even read them, because they again, they don't want to put this unrealistic expectation that they're gonna hurt those people that are in love with the books by whatever they're obsessed with, that they intend to eliminate or in the future. So I've heard even good reviews, like, don't, like, the one consistent thing is, don't tag authors in your reviews. That's like the worst thing that you can ever do, is that it doesn't help the author in whatever way you think it's going.
Oh, yes.
I've heard, like, so many authors, like Susan Dennard is such a huge YA fantasy writer, and she says she hates it. She doesn't want to know. She wrote the book that she feels proud of. It's her story. If someone doesn't like it, obviously that's fine, but reviews are for readers. They're not for the authors, and they are not advice for the author to correct something in their story either.
Yeah, I guess I use them more for marketing. I have I didn't used to, but I now have thick skin. When I was a teenager in high school, I was very impressionable and people pleaser and all that stuff. But now I'm like, I don't know. I've gotten to where after you have 3 kids and you're married for 28 years, you're like, whatever. um, you know, but so I think I use them more for marketing, like, oh, look what somebody said, and try to get more.
Do you write reviews when you read?
Yes. Now I've been following Alessandra Tori. I think she's a big indie, and she has a lot of advice. And I don't know if I think it's good advice, but she said to like reviews with a little like button, don't engage. And she said when you're writing reviews, don't star them. just write the review.
How the hell do you do that? Amazon makes you do a star. Like,
No.
Oh, I'm thinking Goodreads.
okay.
I'm not thinking Amazon. But yeah, to just write a review and not, so I started doing that. And it was a little freeing because you do feel a little pressure as an author. And I usually love everything. I'm really bad at reviews. That was one of my things in the critique group. I was like, oh, it's great. Well, what's wrong with it? I don't know. It's great. I love it. They're like, no. So, and then if I put three or four stars, I would feel guilty, even though really, 3-star review still a good review. So I quit doing stars and just wrote what I liked about the book.
That's very cool. Do you will you read a book all the way through?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever not read a book all the way through. Well, I guess I have. I started a book recently. It's a cute little YA. It's called Sweet Potato Jones. And now I can't find it. So I don't know where I put it. And I'm like, I still want to finish this book, but I don't know. It's lost.
Do you need a happy ending? What kind of genres do you like to read?
I love fantasy, paranormal. That's probably my main one. But I got into YA contemporary. I like a lot of those stories too.
I think that's important. They say that you should always read what you're writing
Mm-hmm.
so that you get more knowledge base on the different things like that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Do you, so you talked about you do have a newsletter and stuff like that. And how has your having a print house and stuff helped you as an author?
Um, well, I guess it definitely helped with the covers because I had the in-house graphic designer. He's amazing. So he helped with my self-publishing covers. And I did draw a lot of attention when I went to with my one cover. They would come over and just tell me how much they loved it. So that helped. And then I could bookmarks. So when I can go to local bookstores, they hand them a bookmark or business card or card, anything. So it's a big help. I mean, it still costs us to print it, but not nearly what it would cost.
No, for an author to generally buy it.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so this is something I don't get to ask a lot of people, but I always um yell at people that don't do it. Do you carry around bookmarks and business cards with you all the time?
Yes. I recently changed purses though, because we went somewhere and I changed purses. So I've been a couple places now without them, and I'm like, oh, I've got to remember to put this in my other purse or switch back to the purse with the bookmarks in it.
I always say that to people. I say you talk to people, you'd be amazed how many people you go, no, I'm an author. They go, what do you read? The first thing you should do is be handing them something so they can easily find you.
Yeah.
You know?
And one thing I learned, and I didn't even know this being a printer or a printer's wife, matte, don't do gloss. My husband loves gloss. Everything we do is high gloss because it catches people's eye. It looks nice, but you can't write on it. They can't, an agent couldn't write, I met you at such and such, to remember you. So matte finish is definitely better.
No, I agree. I actually like matte. I like the way it feels too, matte finish. I think it's true with book covers too. I think way too many people put high gloss on book covers all the time that should be matte book covers. How did you find your agent?
Through Tampa Writers Alliance, because I had self-published, I was put on a panel. Me, my friend Mira Monroe, and Sharon Belcastro, my agent. The three of us were up there talking to the group on our experience of, self-publishing. And so I met her there. And then when I went to different conferences, one of them was the Tampa Times in St. Petersburg. She was looking at books. She stopped by to say hi. So we kept meeting and I kept just chatting and we became friends. We went to Florida Writers Association. She hung out with the little group that's from that group. And she was at our table for the award ceremony. And of course we were drinking. So we were drinking and chatting and laughing. And so I got to know her that way. And I didn't approach her as a writer. until later. And that's when because I knew I knew she wasn't interested in what I'd already self-published. So when I had Dog Girl ready, I said, hey, would you consider reading this? And she's like, yeah. So it's kind of like a romance, right? Friends before agent.
Well, yeah, and you pitched to agents before. What was, when you went to pitch to agents, what was your experience with doing that? I mean, sometimes people say, well, it's kind of meh. Some people are like, it's the worst experience of my life. Some people are like, it made me a better writer. What was your experience when you went to these cons to specifically do the pitch to agents?
It definitely made me a better writer. And when you lead there, oh, I would not want to work with that person, or oh, I really like that person. So I, you definitely get a feeling. With Dog Girl, it was easy to pitch. I mean, I guess it was easier to pitch because I feel like with my paranormal or fantasy, there's so much going on. It's like, what do I talk about? With the Dog Girl, it was easier to narrow down for me anyway. And I got a lot of good feedback. And a lot of people, nobody really asked to see the full book of my other stuff. I think everybody I sat down to talk with for Dog Girl wanted to see the full manuscript. Now, they all rejected it, but they all read it pretty much almost the whole thing, which I was shocked because you hear, oh, they'll read the first page. And then if they don't want to sign you, but no, I know they read it because the feedback I had, they had to have read most of it. And it was good feedback with a lot of helpful advice and encouraging. Like, this is great, but so I was like, okay, I know I have something good here because they're really talking to me. So I knew I had
like a
something
uniformed rejection. It's very
Right.
personalized.
Yes.
Right.
And when did you decide to go traditional versus, or did you always want to be traditional? You just happened to self-publish the other ones. How come you didn't go carry down the self-publishing track?
I guess I did always want to be traditional, but I guess I don't feel savvy enough to be a self-publisher. I don't feel, even though I still have to do a lot of my own marketing anyway, I like having that security blanket, I guess. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, it makes
you have to do
sense.
everything on your own for the most part. With not to say that you don't do anything with traditional, but it is always nice to know you have your publisher as a support team to help you through the whole process.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What about so let's talk writing. When you're writing, where do you like to write?
I preferably would be quiet in the morning with, a lot of people have playlists, they write with music. I like complete quiet. I like the morning before everybody gets up, before my emails start going off. That would be ideal. But I take my laptop everywhere. And when I was driving my kids around, now they can all drive themselves. But when I'd sit in the car, they'd play tennis for 2 hours or more, and I'd be in the car with my laptop.
That's very cool. What about what are your like little writing, what do we call them? Nuances, little eccentricities? Like, do you use a word too much? Do you like, when your editors come back, what are they like, hey, stop doing this thing?
Well, in Dog Girl, since it's first person, it's I. I have to, how am I going to start the sentence without saying I as so I guess that's, that can be, and I like adverbs too. And that's hard. I'm like, oh, I can't use, so I try to limit myself on the adverbs, but I don't cut them out. It's like a diet, you can have a little bit of candy, just not the whole bag.
Yeah.
Or 4 or 5 bags, depending on the author and their use of adverbs.
Stephen King would not agree, guys. He said the road to hell is paved with adverbs, and it is true. I mean, I would say 9 times out of 10 you can eliminate an adverb. Only use an adverb when it really changes something. So, like, he smiled happily doesn't make sense because happily kind of coincides with smile. But if I say I smiled sadly, well, then that's different because
Right.
it contradicts what you already know in that one word, the smiling.
Mhm.
So it's you have to try to find it's some most of the times you just got to find that stronger verb in replacing the adverb.
Yeah.
Totally.
Mhm.
So you like it totally quiet. So were you ever a coffee shop person though? Did you ever take your laptop, go to the coffee shop and write?
Well, like reading and writing for me are the same. I get easily distracted. I mean, some people can sit with a book at an airport, and I'm like, oh, I'm like, and I have to force myself to focus. So probably, yeah, I don't mind it. Because I love coffee and I like the environment. Um, but it's hard. I don't get as much done.
You ever feel like you get writer's block?
I definitely did with that trilogy on the third book. I was definitely blocked there. But I agree with you have to just write. I think you sit down and you do it, no matter if it's crap on the page, you know.
No, totally. Did you how many words per minute can you do? Not words per minute, words per hour can you do? Words per minute. We're doing typing tests now. Whatever. When you sit down and you're going at a good clip, how much do you get done?
I don't know. I don't guess I've never really timed it. I would say on a good day, 2,000 words. 2,000. Sometimes I'll only write 1,000 words, and then on a good day, I'll have 5,000 banked. But I don't know how many an hour.
Have
No,
you
that's good. What but
Oh, I
what's
was
it?
gonna say, are you participating in NaNoWriMo right now?
Not this year, no, but I
No.
have. And that was a good exercise for me, for sure. I did that a couple of years ago. But you know what? I couldn't figure out the website because people were interacting and keeping
Mhm.
score. I guess I'm technically not that good. Or maybe they've improved it. I don't know. Because I was like, I want to talk to my friend. I know she's doing NaNoWriMo, but I couldn't figure it out.
I just use it just to see if I'm reaching the word count because you're supposed to, write so many per day. And I
Mhm.
just like having that little word counter there, like telling me, oh, you're almost here. Or if you're behind, it tells you how much you have to kick it up to reach that goal on time of
Yeah.
reaching like writing 50,000 in 1 month. So yeah.
And I've kind of been out of writing. I've been editing a lot lately. I really don't think I've written anything new in maybe a year. So
Mhm.
Wow.
I can't wait to start, but I'm kind of been I've got what I've had already done. I've been rewriting and editing. So
How many times do you go through your manuscripts?
I've Dog Girl, I feel like we rewrote a million times. I think really about 9 times, 9 or 10 rewrites on Dog Girl.
Oh wow. How many rounds with the editor? What was your editor like on Dog Girl? Did you get to choose them or did they assign them?
By the time it got to the editor at the publisher, 1 round. That was it. And I'm like, what? What don't you want me to, keep? You're like, no, it's pretty polished when we got it. But that's because my agent sent it back to me like 4 or 5 times.
Oh wow.
Before that, I went through it a few times and did hire the, the lady I had met before the editor. So, Trisha.
No, that's very cool. What about audiobooks? Are your books going to audiobook at all?
No, not that I know of. I hope so. I hope she, is trying for that. I've asked. I've been hinted that I'd love that because I personally love audiobooks.
Do you would you want to record it yourself or would you want somebody to do it for you?
No, I would definitely want somebody to do it for me.
What about reading in person? Have you done a lot of readings of your stuff?
No, this virtual book fair that I signed up for and starts in January for Gainesville. It's called
Mm-hmm.
Sunshine State Festival. But I read the first chapter and it's on video in their virtual marketplace. And that was interesting.
Yeah.
I like the sound of my own voice.
No, I think that but you have the voice of your characters, like you know it backwards and forwards versus somebody else reading it. I think it makes a huge difference. How has COVID affected your writing and editing and stuff?
Well, because I feel like I didn't get really, I know a lot of people have gone into a bad depression, and they couldn't read and they couldn't write. I didn't find that. I luckily haven't been affected, and I don't have anybody close to me that's been affected. So I think, had that been the case, I would have maybe gone into a slump. But no, it was just more time at home for me to sit and do my writing. The kids came home. I had the kids. I still have my oldest son who's has an apartment in Miami, who's living at home because nobody's working, out of the office yet. So
Yeah.
yeah.
No, that I think it's definitely affected a lot of things, this year for people. And I agree, it has caused some mental things I think people didn't think were possible. Okay, we're coming to the end. Whoa, done with it. Vanessa, you get one more rapid fire question, my friend.
Oh,
Total pressure. I want to see if your vodka brain can do this.
you're asking way too much from me.
I see that.
You know what? I have one. What is your favorite book to movie or TV adaptation?
Oh, well, okay, this is going to be very generic, but of course I love Harry Potter. I mean, I love Harry Potter. I can't really think of any. Oh, I started Deborah Harkness wrote, and I did you see that TV series?
A Discovery of Witches. Of course
Yeah.
I did, and it is glorious. And season 2 starts in January. Matthew Good.
Yes.
Yes.
I thought they nailed it with the cast there.
Yes.
I really
hallelujah. I love it. I love it. I'm obsessed. And I'm trying to think if anyone watches Outlander, the actor who plays Ian, which is oh god, Jamie's brother-in-law, and he is gonna be playing Gas. Is it Gas Glow or Gas? I don't know. He's in it. I'm ready. I'm ready for it. So sorry, I just I
Yes. Oh my God, Vanessa, you got so excited. That was adorable.
Yeah, she's a good one. Deborah Harkness.
Oh yeah.
Okay, Gabi, how do people find you?
Go to GabiJustice.com or go to Amazon and type in dog girl, but type in Gabi because it might pop up with dog girl, but a lot of times a lot of dog stuff pops up.
Welcome to algorithms on Amazon. So, but they can find you through your website.
Yeah, any bookstore, but mainly my website. I do a lot on Instagram. That's my biggest media. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, but Instagram is
that just Gabi Justice at Gabi Justice?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Double check.
As you look it up before we say that out loud, and your fans are like, can't find her.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, Gabi Justice. That's it. No underscore, no nothing, but Gabi with an I.
Gabi with an I, Justice.
Yeah.
Instagram, website, dog girl. That's awesome. Thank you so much for being on our show with us today. This has been awesome.
Thank you.
Y'all are so much fun.
Oh, thank you so much. And this has been Drinking with Authors, Literary Briefs. I've been Erica Lance.
I'm Vanessa Valiente.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye.